For me, I know it's not wasting about given how strong Soraka is right now, but don't you feel bad when you see that's playing from the frame from blue side? You have to ban this champion or play it even.
I mean, it's pretty annoying. I hope Riot will do something with it. Like, it shouldn't be like this, that the champion that plays top lane has so much wave clear on her Q and she can like survive the lane against anyone because she also heals so much from it. And then in the team fight, she just heals everyone with one spell and it's really OP.
Okay, Riot, you heard Inspired and what he thinks about Soraka, but I see things differently here because we talked about the LCK and the fact that Hanwha Life played a Yumi, Soraka, Olaf comp versus SKT, and when I look at the meta right now and the way you guys play and the fact that you're a main Olaf basically, you could play around utility champions like this, no?
I'm not sure because I think the Soraka thing will be fixed soon, so I'm not sure if it's that worth to learn it at this point. At least I hope so. And yeah, I think Olaf and Soraka are really strong right now, but Olaf was banned against us in both games, so it was a bit hard to pull it out. So maybe next week.
It's one thing that I really love about Rogue is the fact that you force a lot of bans in the jungle, and we'll talk about this reviewing the game versus G2 you had yesterday.
Yep.
But I want to show you some stuff from the Mad Lion games today, especially the First Blood, because one thing I noticed about Rogue is the fact that you play really well around vision, and you always set up vision to create an initiative and get an initiative on some place. So talk me through what happened here, and how did you set up the First Blood?
Okay, so the first thing was we got a bit cheese in bot side jungle, so I had to leave my red buff to go to top side. And after doing 3 camps, it's pretty risky for me to go for enemy red, because I will be really low and enemy mid was always able to move because LeBlanc in the early game. So I said my team that I will just base after 3 camps, get the full HP, and I will probably have Grace advantage over the Gragas, and I will walk to bot side. And I will just check his jungle, because most likely he will try to defend his red buff after taking mine, which happened in this case. And then I can see that his blue buff is still up, and I tell my team that he's probably around. I will just check for him. He did the crab. We still had the bot push, so the blue invade was pretty free to do, and they still managed to contest it, but I don't think they could. I think they should have just dropped the blue buff and tried to maybe get the top scuttle or something.
Since then you forced, and I mean you had the right to because you had the edge on this game, but what happened? What happened? How?
I still don't know what happened.
Too much sometimes,
to 15 minutes, like after the Herald fight, when we got like 3-for-1 or something, I thought the game is over because we had Lissandra that was really good into LeBlanc in the later phases of the game. We had Draven that was really fed in getting tower plates bot then top. I'm not sure what happened, to be honest. I think we just got caught too many times in the mid game after the 15 minutes mark or something, and then in the team fights we weren't decisive enough to make the plays, or maybe we were a bit shaky in the team fights.
Yeah.
Like some TPs, we used TPs too late once we used it too early and they like turned on TPs. It was pretty bad execution in the team fights from us, I think.
I have the perfect example to illustrate that, because I want to look at the communication you guys had here, the overextend late game. I don't think that was cost you the game, but I feel like it's the moment where Mad Lions took the edge. I mean, for real, and you didn't lose the game based on that, but I mean that didn't help clearly. So tell me about the communication for this play.
I mean, the communication here was really early. I think like 20 seconds before that play we said that we have a good TP behind and they are trying to contest every mid wave. And if Lissandra, we've said just bases, get the home guards and TP behind them when they are contesting the mid wave, we can easily engage on them because they will not expect us to come from behind. But we TP'd too early, like they didn't really walk up on the mid wave and we already TP'd. They saw the TPs and just turned on them. I think if you were a bit more patient there, I think it would be a really good fight for us, but I guess we went too early.
You tweeted about the fact that you missed some opportunities fighting against G2 yesterday.
Yeah.
I feel like you feel the same way today, so you know what's been wrong. So obviously next week it's going to be back on tracks, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, our early game was pretty decent in both games, so I'm not too upset about the games, because obviously if you get stunned, then you can be upset about the lose. But yeah, we have a lot of time to improve still, because the playoffs are far away from now. So, I mean, I'm still happy, and I think we will do even better next week.
Yeah, and the earlier you lose in the season, the easier it is to adapt and learn from your mistakes.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Looking at what happened right now, you lost against Origin and G2. We saw amazing things against G2 yesterday. You guys pushed them to their limits, obviously, but you still have to face Fnatic. I mean, among the top teams right now, we see G2, Rogue, Fnatic, and Origin. So how do you think it's going to go when you guys face Fnatic? You still have time.
I think this week we played much better than in week 1 and 2. I mean, I did as a jungler because the meta changed a lot on this patch, like since the season started. And this week I didn't really focus that much on farming, but more like putting my lanes ahead. So I think I improved on this a lot, and that's what was lacking against Origin, in the game against Origin. I think if I played this game a bit better early game, we could win that easily. And I'm really confident in the game against Fnatic. I think we have a really good chance to win.
You were mentioning Origin. They're about to play Misfits right now. What do you think about this match? How is it going to go?
I think Origin will win
Origin
quite
will
easily.
win?
Yeah.
All right, we'll see that right now. Actually, thank you, Inspired, for the interview.
Thank you.
Back to the casters for Game 3.
And we're back. Thank you very much, Slow. Of course, as a follow-up to that one, Carzzy did win Kia Player of the Game. Great team fights. Great, fantastic.
Wait, we're hitting him with this one?
Yes!
No!
Yes!
Ruthless!
And the pinnacle of League of Legends has been witnessed here on the LEC stage.
Bro.
There it is, Kia Player of the Game. Huh.
Well, the other plays were really good. I don't know why that was the one we decided to show off.
That was the one that people will remember. And that's
I'll
what's
remember
important.
it. I was laughing for like 30 seconds.
But enough about Mad Lions Rogue. Our names came up. So that's Chrissy. I'm Dracos, aka this is Ender.
Don't forget to like, comment,
There you go, smash that like for more really in plays. We're getting ready for Misfits Gaming versus Origin. And this is one, I'm excited about this one for a lot of reasons. Because one, Origin, I think, still like need to show us more. That was kind of, we've literally fought about Misfits, and you almost got in a fist fight with Kyoto yesterday about Origin. This is just teams we're fighting about. This is so great.
The worst part is like me and Kyoto, like we get along great, you know? We took a picture after
the camera.
Not in front of a camera. We're just, you know, relentless with one another.
Spotlight's on. You just gotta drama it up.
Eventually, I think I'll have to get him in the ring and like between Wyverns or something, you know, make sure he...
Yeah, I was glad that you followed that with between Wyverns. I was like, I don't know if...
Get him in the ring?
I don't know if the hand-to-hand favors you there, but...
I've got the reach.
You got the reach. Okay.
He can't touch me.
All right.
No.
Well, okay. Back to League of Legends. I think Misfits Gaming is a team that I'll say cautiously optimistic about their growth, their development as we move later in the split. And Origin, once again, the goalposts for Origin are very different. This is a team that the expectation is they will contest top 3. There's no doubt there, but the true goal is contesting G2. So very different goals for both these teams.
Yeah, and the big thing there that we're sort of taking away of the discussions around Origin is just wanting them to see and take more opportunities, because in a lot of these situations they have very strong drafts, they scale well to the late game, and don't seem to be forced to do a whole lot. But when you do contest against those very strong teams, of course, you are going to have to see every little thing you can get your hands on. Whereas Misfits, I actually pleasantly surprised. Is he smiling over me? Hey, Kyoto.
He's flaming you. You can't hear him.
He's not flaming me.
He's not flaming you. He's shaking his head.
Never await victory.
All I'm saying is, I don't know if he's allowed on broadcast, but if we can ever get a cage fight between Kyoto and Ender, I will gladly be first in line to commentate it.
You'll commentate that? Do you have experience commentating some like sumo fighting, you know, back in the day? What did we call that again? That was some like Euphoria bet, right?
The mid-season invitational
sumo
invitational.
invitational.
First annual, and then we just started doing it.
That was the first content piece I was ever a part of. There you go. And then they had to cut me out of it because it hadn't been announced yet.
Oh, that's true.
I was just a spectator. Yeah,
and I think the thing is we look at both these teams, and obviously, once again, goalposts are different, and place in the standings is very different, because it was a very, let's say, miserable week 1 for the side of Misfits Gaming. And now I did feel like they got their act together in week 2. Guys, we're filling time. I don't know if you've noticed. I don't know if the cameraman shifting back and forth gave it away, but we're just a few minutes away from champ select.
Having way too much fun up here.
And so now I'm, once again, as we get into this game, I think all I want to see from Misfits is like pick a strategy and execute it. And if it blows up in their face, fine. But I think the strategy that we've seen from them recently, which is like, hey, Dan, you're going to go late game. Feven, you're just going to get a conventionally good pick, like the little Blanc or the Kiana, and we're just going to kind of see what happens. I want more from both sides, I think it's safe to say.
I mean, Misfits yesterday, they showed us a whole lot. Went deathless in their game up against Shulk. Very clean stuff from them. And of course, as one of these teams that's trying to break into the middle of the pack, break away from from that as well. A couple of wins past few games. The team is definitely on the upward trajectory, but this is going to be probably one of the most difficult opponents they have faced since that week 1 when they faced both Fnatic and Rogue. So this will be a true testament.
This music play every time. This is such a banger. I love it. All right, LEC. Game 4, I completely agree, Ender. My biggest dream is that one day we'll play that music and then pause immediately after. Just to master suspense truly is an art form. But there's no pauses here as it is Misfits versus Origin. Misfits on the blue side. Instant Soraka ban. That's right, folks. No more of that. On the LEC stage, you see what Origin want to go for here. For now, it is the standard bans. Champions like the Akali. Maybe the Syndra going to hit the table soon.
You know, Dracos, I think Misfits have a great strategy here. And as you said, that's going to be the Syndra taken away as well. Something Upset was willing to flex into the bottom lane very recently. So Misfits already with some good ideas in this draft. But then your eyes go towards the bot lane picks. You know, the Senna, the Aphelios, the Misfortune that are all available. We're not seeing that same sort of triple ban strat that Rogue went for in game number 3. And of course, at the same time, the junglers with the Lee Sin ban away here, your eyes look towards the, perhaps the Jarvan. The Gragas has been included. Those are stance.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what Razork wants to go for here, what his option is going to look like, and if Misfits Gaming are going to pay any respect over to Xerxes' champion pool. Have the luxury of first pick, and with no 80 carries left standing, there's really no pressure to pick one in first rotation, to use your blue side first pick for that. Because bot lane is actually a huge question for me. Obviously, anytime you look at these teams, Alfari will be interesting to see. Jarvan now, of course, banned away. But Destiny versus Denic is very... Both Tomcat players were very focused on kind of protecting their 80 carries over the last few games. But we've also seen...
Sort of the bundle you get with supports nowadays. It's Tomcat, Braum, and then Nautilus on the other side. Now, with this Jarvan ban away, this says to me first pick Gragas for Misfits Gaming, especially with a set ban on the red side coming from Origin. Not a huge fan of that, especially when the Gragas is up and available. So now, Xerxes, the expectation would be for him to go back to one of his more comfortable picks, which would be the Rek'Sai, sort of that tier below the top 3.
Ooh, Braum pick here. Obviously, very strong laning duo.
Ooh, actually, I would actually really like the Braum here because both Braum works very well with Aphelios can stack that super fast with a crescendo. Also works very well against the Gragas, and if you assume that it is going to be a Senna coming through towards the bottom lane, even Denic can love this Senna Braum 2 versus 2.
Ooh, this would be interesting. Zyra Khan locked in now for B-Boy and Denic. A big jump in responsibility. Normally it's been the Braum and the Tomcat to protect the B-Boy on a traditional hyper carry. Now it's going to be a little bit more about the engage. B-Boy going to get some tools to defend himself, but not nearly the get-out-of-jail-free card that we've seen in the Tomcat.
And you know, this really takes me back to the opening game between Origin and Fnatic, where of course it was the Aphelios walked in for Nicholas's side, and then these 3 picks came through from Origin, so ability to play around this bottom lane, a lot of CC block there too, to make sure that if he doesn't get given a very strong healing support, he is going to be exceptionally vulnerable. And then if it is a block later on in the draft, that's why I say Dandy, he has to come through.
See, could be willing to ban the Braum out for Born. I think falling a little bit priority to see what can stuff he picked up, giving over Born. Plus, the Braum never feels super great, especially on a composition that may want to dissuade some of the Aphelios fighting. But I love what Origin have done with their jungle mid. This feels so incredibly powerful. The setup for either the Kiana or the Elise is so good. And I think it's going to be a difficult mid lane matchup now for Vebevin. We do see the Pantheon as well as the Nautilus fan.
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult one, especially the split damage profile of Elise and Kiana. You can often what I see this combination do is Kiana leaves mid lane, looks like she's roaming, and then both she and Elise come from opposite sides as the enemy mid laner, thinking they're just there to clear the waves, gets instantly deleted. So that's definitely something Origin can look to do themselves. And by banning away, both the Pantheon could be very good up against this Kiana, as well as the LeBlanc with her innate mobility. That basically removes a lot of these safer options that Febby could farm safely.
And the 2 champions that I'd love to see Vebevin on so far have been the Kiana and giving a lot of respect to Alfari here. This instant Thresh lock in.
Yeah, so I think the Thresh is smarter than the Braum here. Primarily, Braum doesn't love the matchup up against the Rakan, and this Thresh combined with the pick power of a Kiana and a Elise as well is giving them a lot of tools to start fights.
Diana could be the option. Of course, with the Rod of Ages early, she will be quite tanky, a bit harder to burst down. Cannot for some more bruisery items to survive the onslaught here. The Aatrox too, but the blind pick Aatrox means how far you can pick the litter in terms of optimal counter options here.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they didn't want to go for the GP, but I think the Neil ban in the second phase sort of telegraphs that they do want to go for the Aatrox. That's been the consistent capture up top side.
We traded one. Goes into the top lane for Can we never be free? 10-2? Come on. There we go. Okay, all right. Order's been restored. False alarm. League of Legends is still being played, not that other game where Sona and Soraka go in the top lane.
League of Legends is safe. We're safe.
Bring me back.
All right, here's the deal. There's a lot of different moving pieces in this game. I think Misfits have tons of dive options. We're talking AoE effects with Diana's new ultimate, coming around on the flank too with a Gragas or an Aatrox. They have so many ways to access Alphari's Aphelios, or Alphari's, no, upsets Aphelios in the backline. So it definitely gives them a really, really tough time. And that's where I think Origin are less focused on finding pure team fights and much more about looking for picks, activating this wow, Mordekaiser in the top lane. Well, that's the one. Alphari's throwing me for a loop here. No, Alphari too, look for 1v1s against the Diana as well as the Aatrox in the top lane come these later phases when he can go into the side.
And unlike our last game, it's not as clear as one team wants to go forward and one team wants to go backwards, because while clearly we want to see some dive from the side of Misfits, there's not as many healing tools on the side of OG as you would expect, but definitely very powerful competition. See how the bot lane plays out. I'm trying to think of the Misfits fighter against Zaya or Khan, so I'd love to see. Will they have the coordination necessary to get ready?
Isn't
Our
it
fourth game of the
stupid?
day, Origin versus Misfits. Epic music, instant pause. Here we are.
Can't believe it.
We're just doing it. We're excited. We're living for it. Wait a second. That's true. That's you, Ender Weird Champ.
That's me. I know what's happening in chat right now.
Legally change your name. Mercy Fire stays dead.
Do you think I go with Ender Weird Champ, or do I just change like my tags? Instead of being like Christine or Fire, Christine Champ.
Then what would they not just name Ender Weird?
I'll ascend. I'll become one with the emo.
Become the emo.
I will become what I once hated.
That's enough of that. We've done the classic Ender's ego padding to kick us off and get us through the pause. Thank you for
Twitch
that
chat will
one,
be going
Kit
for
Kat.
non-stop 5 minutes. I swear.
They're
good at it.
All right.
I'm just saying.
Thank you for your contributions to society. Very much appreciated.
Mind controlling all of it right now.
Here we go. I guess I just want to hear you talk more, because I'm going to ask questions about the jungle, because Gragas at least is very interesting.
They all
We've got two AP junglers, and now I want to... Because immediately I think Kiana Elise, kill. That's what I think. But how is this actually going to play out?
Yeah, so here's the thing, is that Diana, especially in early laning phase, when she goes up, she can obviously farm with Q from range, but if she ever wants to trade, she will leave herself vulnerable, and that goes both ways, with the Kiana as well. So as two melee mid lanes, you always expect to maybe see a little bit more friction at the center of the map. Now, note that Featherman opted into the teleport, so when you look later in the game, that gives Misfits the options to split up into 1-1, or to allow Featherman to go split down towards bottom lane. But Nuke Duck with the Ignite, as well as the fact that he's going to win the 2v2 from OG should be meaningfully stronger around this point.
Once you get later and later, the value of the Gragas will increase, and the Elise will in turn decrease.
Killing
A lot of eyes on the OG early game now.
An ally has been slain.
Will get the gank here. It looks like a lonely start for Xerxes, but I like this. He's willing to give up lane priority so that Upset and Destiny can be comfortable here. Walking really just level 1 hit that level 2 first, which is incredibly crucial for both of the champions on the OG side.
Yeah, and if you, as the Thresh in this matchup, you can just walk up cleanly, like with the flame or something like that, especially when level 2 comes around. Like, trades look real good. Hey,
Auto.
there it is.
It's only going to get better too as level 2 Felios ability to come unlocked.
And something we see a lot, actually, I think, from Mickey X when he plays the Rakan into this matchup is he starts with level E, like you saw Denik do here, and he tries to use the extra range he has to auto-attack harass early on in the laning phase and then sort of dash back with the shield and block a lot of damage. But because Thresh actually has range himself with his lantern there too, it means that he can't really have that same effect.
And now they're just going to get bullied. And of course, Elise is on the bottom side as well. Gragas can't really afford to make a counterplay if he gets caught out. Definitely loses the 1v1. And Destiny already comes to one up to just start fishing for these hooks.
Check this out. Xerxes knows that Febvin walked topside to place a ward and now is coming in at a really unique angle. Febvin should not expect this, and his lane is slightly pushed away from him. So step up to farm is dangerous, and his Q, he can't land every last hit with just Q.
Waterblade equipped the telegraphs the game. And for those keeping up on the Champion Ocean narrative, one of my personal favorites, this is the first time so another pick into the ocean. But as a first-time Kiana, he may have given away a little bit too soon. Waterblade was the option there. Alright, into this. Two great counterpoints. We see bot lane doing well and push. We see mid lane basically even, and we see top lane getting hard push. So OG generally seems to be coming out on top in a lot of these early game exchanges. Not too surprised when we compare the Gragas team at least, but I'd hope to see Razor get something done here in a few minutes.
Yeah, well, bot lane is going to be the target for him for sure, because as you can see, OG's duo has pushed up pretty substantially. He should know Xerxes walked top lane because he split straight through that middle lane. So smart of an upset Destiny to back away right now because the lane was in a bit of a tough position, and I'm honestly surprised to see Razor not really want to go for anything.
Not wanting to try anything. Of course, if you do try to force it, it turns against you. Very disastrous. Fellas will snowball very quickly. Control and he wants to wait till the level 600 spell, but it does mean that the rest of his lanes will suffer a certain degree as Alvaria remains uncontested.
This is a big win for OG. Not just the CS being denied in top lane, but also if we pan down to bot lane very quickly, even though Upset went for a quick recall, he hasn't really been denied that many minions. I think maybe 2 or 3 melee minions in the front line, so he's going to come back with an extra Dorian's Blade now, and this entire minion wave. You can see he's only down to 7 CS right now.
Next to B-Boy, the follow-up is there. Upset can look to get the snare. A lot of them is going to be slowed there by the onslaught. Into the play.
Well, that's big as well, because delaying the reset now from B-Boy and Denik means that Upset got that recall off completely for free. He's going to have this wave cleared before they actually go back, so now minions are going to be able to deny.
I feel like they should have just pushed that button a little bit sooner, but now Xerxes here as well. They could try to play for extra plates if they want to get aggressive, but it looks like they're just happy to keep taking very favorable recalls. They'll be able to deny at least 3 or 4 creeps here. They will be moving into the tower uncontested.
Yeah, so Upset just going to place his control ward, I believe. Not actually clear away the vision, because he wants to get his base off with a lot of time on his hands, because he doesn't want to get denied anything on the other side, and I think that's correct.
And we were arguing about B-Boy yesterday. One of the things that we talked about was his laning stats being very underwhelming. Now, obviously, the team fighting game is looking a lot better. We're not in the team fighting stage. We're at the laning stage. You can already see that due to Upset's kind of just superior wave control, he is being denied a decent amount of CS. He is being forced to back.
And it is something you can do when you're very default, especially when you're just on your side of the map, knowing that he's going to push back into your side, and you effectively so Denik primarily isn't able to use that pressure with the way pushing to get a roam and into the jungle
Has been slain.
Upset though has to be careful. Denik not going to take the bait as he goes around though, but they were able to lay down a lot of vision around that mid lane. Things coming out. Level 6 for Nuta. Waterblade equipped as well. The setup here. Denik and B-Boy try anything at all, they would instantly die.
And right now, Upset has frozen the wave right in front of this tower right here. So Razor has to come into this bottom lane. There will be a ward to spot him out if he leaves this bush. And then it's just a question of, yeah, he just is able to walk up and allow them to fully push that wave in. Upset will give them the respect they need, and that should bounce the wave at the end.
Does come out, just trying to extend the play a little bit longer, buy a little bit more time. Once again, in the meanwhile, Mordekaiser still just bashing in onto the Aatrox top side, getting level 6 way ahead of Dandan, who just went over now. OG building small advantages. That's not too great at this stage, but coming out on top in a lot of these pressure plays.
I'm just pretty happy with how OG have played this all around.
Is the greatest
I'd like to see what we got out of them. Now Xerxes, I wonder if he wants to make a play early for the Drake. Of course, his blue buff did just spawn, but he knows Razork has been on the map for quite a while. Doesn't have a great reset, just boots and a couple of jungle items, whereas Xerxes was able to upgrade into blue smite and has the Necto as well. So egg fight is very, very good for him. This means all vision that got put down is very futile from Misfits, because now without the item advantage, it's just going to get immediately cleared away.
I feel like Dan probably can test the Raptors there. It's just like they're going to move in and start to test some buffs. I won't be able to get it. That's what does finish that one off, but Upset and Destiny just continuing to focus, continuing to harass. Things will get easier as level 6 is starting to come in for the side.
Top lane feels so relevant, right? Like, they're not going to see any ganks there anytime soon, it doesn't feel like. Honestly, just on top lane's like, hey, Dan, go farm my Grom. Hey, how far do you go farm my Krug? You know, in between anyways here, far removed from where the action is happening, which is the posturing around bottom lane and the trying to fix some of those lane states.
They both just whiffed like 4 skills back to back.
You know?
That was excellent. Sorry. I mean, it was fine, but this is the thing about top lane staying in island I always find really interesting is that it's fine.
It's not an island. It's not an island because his lane is really
Instant flash out from Lamar, giving that respect.
yeah. Just about to say too. I'm like, yeah, he's got a couple extra range minions that he needs to in his wave. And all of a sudden he gets put in a lot of. Oh no! Razor just hit level 6.
Pull back there. Lamar gonna try to beat him down. He's already been knocked back through the control with him. Fine time waiting. Diana's on the way up too. Almari must know he's already dead. Just retreating here, and first blood dropping down. Bevavin not going to get an assist, but Misfits with a solid.
Yeah, really nicely done by them, because not only do they get that game in the top lane, but they're also trying to Xerxes. The in-game mission comes in, so many works to start. Xerxes still comes moved over it now. It's really the ball lane was going to be safe too. It wasn't going to be we saw Upset in a very similar position earlier on this game, making the correct choice, which was to back away. Even though Razork didn't end up going for that gank, Alfari's decision had to be wait until Elise comes into my lane, and then we can help try to push it out.
And it's such an important timing window too, right? Because if the Death Realm's up, Gragas has just burned all his cooldowns. You Death Realm the Gragas, you either make it out or you kill the Gragas, right? So finding that window of opportunity, punishing Alfari, the repeat ganks, and while I think it's definitely safe to say Alfari should have just backed up and conceded and understood that, I like that he was willing to go for the second try there on the side of Misfits. However, as we look ahead, 10 minutes into the game, and this is a very different game than what we saw yesterday for Misfits. Obviously, Misfits Gaming playing versus Schalke. It was catastrophically one-sided. It was a Misfits highlight reel. If there was ever a time to have faith in Misfits, that was the time. The question is, are they going to be able to do the same thing against Origin today? And I imagine a much closer game. Razork does manage to get away from the Kukum.
Yeah, Razork was like, oh, there's a ward over this wall. Maybe I'm in a little bit of trouble. But yeah, Misfits were absolutely popping yesterday. Obviously, difference there in the competition with OG in this one too. So taking things a little bit slower, but already seeing them edging out a bit of an early lead is a very good sign for them. Now the challenge is going to be, can they continue to dominate or to push this lead forward? Because right now they have centered a lot of their vision success around the top lane, putting deep wards in the side of Xerxes' jungle. And now assuming that Xerxes is not actually on the map, they're just going to start at this Herald.
Took the waiting. Obviously, an excellent position for Kiana to fight.
Everyone's coming up here.
Destiny on the way. They might keep up the Herald, but they might just fish for the fight. Razork grabs that one, and they will back off. So OG punished a little bit here for playing slower. We do see the Umbral Glaive now come out from Nuke Ducky, very focused on clearing the vision. But OG actually falling behind.
I do think the Umbral Glaive is going to be really big here for OG. Just the ability to continue to deny vision when you have an Elise, a Kiana, a Thresh on your team. This is going to mean that playing around objectives looks really good for OG when they're able to push out their waves, get vision in the enemy jungle, and then you have to face check them.
Don't worry, observers. We did see Denik did completely miss that control ward.
I didn't see that.
He walked through.
I could be a pro player.
And they followed him for a good 20 seconds. I feel like we got to talk about it. But there it is. Oh, God, that item is incredibly strong. Obviously sacrificing a lot of combat power, but just instantly
Well,
sweeping
it's
over and
also
over.
the fact, not just being able to reveal wards, but when someone wards over a wall and you just bop it with one auto and it's just instantly gone. And then they're like, okay, wait 5 seconds, they place again, you hit it again, then they have no wards left and they're just perma-tilted for the rest of the game.
I see. So the mental warfare.
Oh, it's
aspect
mental
of the
warfare
Umbral
for
Glaive
sure.
should be listed on in the stats section. That's what balances it out. All right. Well, the worst ambush of all time is what we're witnessing right now, because it has been spotted out.
Well, they don't know
Ooh,
Resort's here.
now they know. Ooh, but now Destiny and Upset are stepping forward. Good hook, trying to fake Denik into thinking that he was the target. Razork must feel pretty comfortable. The knockback is there. Instantly the charm to follow, but now they can pull it out, but he can't click it fast enough. The lantern is not going to work. Clean execution. Fevbin now chasing down Nuke Duck.
That was just nasty. That's the second game in a row we've just had a beautiful cask with no CC setup whatsoever to punish Upset. And now they're spawning the Herald. Notice they're spawning it late here. So they're going to break 2 plates themselves because, of course, the resistances do increase as you take each consecutive plate. But the Rift Herald does true damage. So you drop it later on and you instantly destroy the tower.
That's so much gold for B-Boy. And I got to say, Razork at the start of the week, we're looking back on his past weeks, a lot of bad plays.
Straight up.
But on the back of these last 2 moves, the gank in the bottom lane, the gank on the top side, Razork is looking clean today.
It's just beautiful right there. And they don't give Upset a chance to breathe. Destiny even tries to flash away to offer the lantern, but with the CC chaining and the beautiful way they just layered them one after another there, just didn't give them a shot.
And once again, such a small window of opportunity because Xerxes in the meantime was taking out the Scuttlecrab, was right above, was moments away. If Gragas isn't there, that play just does not work whatsoever, but finding that small window of opportunity, capitalizing on it, and now Misfits with a 2K gold lead 13 minutes into the game. I said this wasn't going to look like the Schalke game, and I might have been wrong.
Well, OG gonna have to run away from this one now too. Misfits came back onto the map, and with Nuke Duck making a little trip up towards topside, they can say thanks for the leash, pick that one up. No problem now with Mountain Drake under their belts. And there's no objectives to play for anymore, so they can just calmly farm out the rest of these lanes and just continue to thwart any opportunities that OG are trying to look for.
Need to see what OG do next. They know they're in a deficit. They know they need to concede some objectives, but what is the call? For now, it appears to be playing around topside. Misfits, though, they smell it. It's obvious. It's the only remaining play on the map, so Dan should be backing off, but he's not concerned. As Greg
here comes Razork.
If they overcommit, the knockback into the wall. Far going to try to pull him back. Razork! Just give this man player of the game. He's looking to finish it out. Alfari, though, trying to make it at least a 1-for-1, but Dan running for the hills. Alfari knows he dies in this. The most he can hope for is a kill on the Aatrox. Dan goes back with style over the wall, and why not? Just give Gragas another kill. Razork is out of control.
Well, OG are trying to make plays happen, but they are not working there whatsoever. Misfits able to read it. They said Nuke Duck left the map for a little while. Where can he be? With Moby Boots and an Umbral Glaive, it's very clear he just wants to push mid and then roam and attack these silos. So Razork has a very good path back up into the top lane to stop that deadness tracks.
And whoop, now the engage gonna try to come out, but it whiffs. Upset follows up with a moonshot. The snare will be there. Kuhn will land as well. But
That's a QSS. That's QSS on Denik already.
Already.
I
I mean, you gotta respect it. The man understands how he dies.
Yeah,
He saw it happen to Destiny in the G2 game. He does not want it to happen to him.
Right. Just look at OG's comp. All they have are pick tools, and they try to use it here. But again, Nuke Duck's so much faster than Xerxes that this is a 2 versus 1 at the start, and that quickly turns around with both a teleport and Resort coming on in.
And just excellent use of the third Q on the Dark Blade there from Dan. As he's getting stunned, as he's getting locked up, gives him a ton of healing, mitigates a lot of that burst damage. And this is really just style points. The fade away, backwards Darkened Blade as you watch your opposing top laner die.
Feels bad, man. Also interesting that Alfari went for the Rylays here. Usually we'll see them go for more, fighting spell. They get a Leandries themselves for more damage. Maybe it would have helped him in that situation.
Here's my question, Ender.
Ask me.
We're 16 minutes in. 3K, 1 tower, 1 dragon. All in favor of Misfits. Hold that thought. The play now coming in. Nuke Duck trying to finish this one off, but Fevbin quite tanky. And sadly, all that lethality not amounting to much. All the extra health from Fevbin keeping him alive.
Yeah. What's the question?
Do you believe in Misfits yet?
I mean, I really like their odds in this game. I think they have the much easier to execute team composition. Like, they are built to team fight through and through. And while OG do have good tools themselves, it's okay.
That's a golf clap. You can't hear that at home, but I'm golf clapping. Good job, Alfari.
My soul just drains whenever someone steals a camp.
100 gold in your favor. I mean, it's 2 top laners
And
fighting
12
over
experience. It's the jungle.
Aw. Those numbers are so low. Not the 100 gold, but the 12. It hurts. All right. Now it's the... Wow, there you go. Well timed. Team.
Yeah, see, I thought you were going to ask me, is it a problem that Gragas has all 4 of his team skills?
I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I was honestly going to say no. I'm like, he's got the double pen right now.
None of the experience, but all the money. Razork stepping up. Xerxes thinks he has the flank, but there's 3 people here. Now Secret Agent Xerxes is going to try to escape. Or is he? It's the long con. It's Ocean's 11. The cocoon is landed. They want to find the follow-up. They're just going to force a flash.
Yep. Merc Treads Rush out of Febby means he can get out of that one no problem. Upset. Oh my.
E-boy. Follow-up stun is there. Instantly going to be able to transform weapons. Burnham is there, and Denik debating if he wants to go forward. Oh, we'll back off, but...
Okay, it's time OG need to make a play on Rift Herald right now. They have mid prio, they have top prio. Febvin was just seen taking a reset off the map, lost his flash as well, so this is a very good opportunity for them. Notice, though, Dan has teleport and has a ward to flank over on the side here, so things go really bad for OG if they get clumped up as 5.
And Hook's down now.
Deep TP.
Feels like he can come closer. Upset. Death Realm has come out on a B-Boy. He's isolated the AD carry. Alfari's looking to turn this game back. Does not matter. What goes up must come down, and B-Boy now set to fall, but Alfari's still just going to back off. Ulti comes in. The flash away. The whiff. The miss. The lantern still there, though. Upset going to try to make his way out of this one. Knocked back by the cask. Will make it out to safety. A messy fight. Alfari with no ult. Has to be careful. In the meantime, Xerxes has bought a bit more time for the team as he's taking down the Rift Herald, and Destiny goes golden, denying the ult from Diana.
OG actually did a really good job there of soaking so many ultimates from Misfits, all the while Xerxes made the call to stay on the Rift Herald. So what this means is that everything was blown. Misfits couldn't really find that way into the fight, and they just disengaged. Even though they had the numbers advantage, now OG have that Herald and could potentially use it to set up if the Dragon fight is delayed a little bit, because you can just drop that in mid lane, call a member or 2 of Misfits over, and all of a sudden, you have control and walk in.
Nuke Duck doesn't kill him instantly.
Whiffs
the Q. Diana's on the way down. Nuke Duck, what have you done? The knockback into the wall. Tries to buy a bit more time. Needs to equip a grass blade, but he already used his abilities. Audacity. Doesn't even need it to take him out to safety. You will walk away, but my God, that could have been so...
ugly Dracos, but he's alright. At the end of the day, though, they're still going to end up seeding this dragon instead of trying to use the Rift Herald in a clever way to gain some priority for themselves. Also down in gold still, so Misfits still with control, still favored in the 5 versus 5, but as we sort of mentioned before, they have a lot of really critical ultimates. The Gragas Cask, Diana's ultimate, of course the Rakan too, so they need to be able to use those effectively. Otherwise, in a very spread out, very chaotic fight, that's where the Aphelios won't actually get bursted down. He'll just smash your face in with whatever color gun he has picked up. That's bursted on it. Both guys really do look good.
See if they can find the setup, though. For now, Misfits comfortably in control. It's not the cleanest exchange around the mid lane, but everything's still working out slowly but surely as OG try to find their way back in.
So right now, OG, I think, if they want to try and make plays themselves, it all has to come and be funneled through Nuke Duck. He's in a pretty good position right now. I mean, he's finished off, and right now there's absolutely 0 armor being built by Misfits. And I think as we get further, Zonia starts coming for both Razork and Febvin. You'll finally see an armor item come through from Dan too, I think, in the next 1 or 2. So that's where Nuke Duck's value is going to diminish rapidly. He doesn't have enough value to cut through all that armor.
Very true. Good news is now he has the Dustblade, which is more effective item as opposed to the Umbral delay. So maybe he can hope to get one of those dream one-shot sort of Iana team fight for effective ult. Baron, of course, just spawning. Doesn't really feel like it's yet. Aphelios, of course, has the power to shred through it, but sadly, his team a little bit behind at this stage of the game. They can't afford to take the risk. So probably stalled out for a few more moments. Herald is going to be dropped and left on the bottom side. There's no plates to take, so they don't feel like committing for it.
That's really surprising to see, because Xerxes committed a lot of time down there. Now he's coming down for another follow-up play. It seems like both teams are going to be content pushing and trading these outer turrets in top lane and in bottom lane, but instead, OG just have to give that one up, even with the Rift Herald, which is so surprising, primarily because, as you mentioned, the Baron had spawned, so Xerxes didn't want to be caught down there for too long, but I don't think Misfits actually have the damage to start it up right there.
And I'm going to be honest, not entirely sure.
Oh, hey, here we go.
Here, slow the knockup. They're going to find the ult. Nuke Duck waiting on the flank. Upset, consistently trading his ult for the ult of the Xayah. Mordekai's on the top side
here's the thing about that trade right there. So Upset's ultimately about 30-second lower cooldown. You work very, very long. That long-range initiation, you can instantly make him pop it, even though he can cast it while he casts his own ultimate while he is rooted. B-Boy does lose that cooldown. Now, the thing is, when Upset does that again, even in that window, B-Boy has cleanse too. So it's not like it's a perfect situation.
Lockdown is there, the knockback. Oh, is playing out of his mind, but Upset will make it back to safety. Amari off to the side, locking up Bevavin, trying to get something done here for the team. Nuke Duck waiting. Pretty easy matchup so far. Bevavin wants to make it out to safety, but Xerxes actually going to grab the kill there. Looks like a spider.
Yeah, Xerxes just left a spider on the ground. Was like, I guess he's gonna pop out here, and instantly procs it on him.
Hey, need to catch up. Need that extra XP. So 1 kill in the favor of Origin. Could have been a disaster. Looked like it was. Recording both of Upset's Summer's mode. Managed to hold on to that exchange with the Midland Tower in exchange for a single kill. That's it.
Team double
This
kill.
one's still ahead, 3.5. Oh no! Now trying to finish it off, trying to turn things back around. Finds it one time. So they're gonna dash it through. Breastplate stealthed. They're trying to finish him off. Where did he go? There he is. Why not? 5-0-0 for Razor.
I mean, that's just a heads up putting it from Razor. Unfortunately, it was in. It looks a little silly, but the body slam takes priority over any of Kiana's actions. So he wouldn't get hit by the damage because his belly is actually just so big. And in this fight, he goes up and it looks so good. But Upset flashes back into the sort of pullback there from Febby 2, which drops him right onto the lantern. Of course, Febby in a lot of trouble, and this is a good example of how there's a spider right on the ground. You got it. Anyways, you can see how when these fights, they don't have the big long at the start. You don't pan out. All of a sudden, you have all these really strong skirmish type champions.
I do wonder if they immediately lose if they're not also trying to take the tail tower. If we come into a fight around the objective, side of Misfits, OG though really grouping up, really much more conscious about testing his vision, testing his control around him.
I think the big thing there is that I'm going to value Aphelios in a backline way more than I'm going to value a Saya. So the assumption there is that Misfits don't layer up and instantly kill out Aphelios, and the rest of his team stays like you see as some kind of a front line. If he's really not punished, he's going to with the range and honestly with the ability to turn on whether he has the long range gun, he's going to hit you from a mile away and fight him. If he has close range guns, then you get on top of him and then he kills you. So it feels like there's not a lot of answers into that.
No. Really not, of course. It never feels like there's a bad choice. There's an optimal choice and there's an okay choice. And now that's going to be the cocoon. Xerxes has to go up, has to come back down, is going to die instantly.
Oh,
Misfits.
that's the worst possible case situation. They lose their jungler multiple in the river. So Misfits are already here onto the Baron buff. Dan has roamed up as well. OG, they might just have to give this one up.
Upset with ultimate. They were with ultimate flash and cleanse. This should be a favorable fight. Damian trying to buy time, trying to buy space for the team. Alvari locking him out. Well, he pulls him into the death realm. Nope, not going to use it.
Wait, now they can fight.
He can just go over the wall and kill the jungler. They can take the ground. They're just going to look to press him down. Oh, Razor locked in the death realm. And who's going to get the finish right now? Absolute disaster. When push comes to shove with nerves of steel. OG take the fight.
2 HP on the Baron right there. Razor misses it by just a hair, and even though they lost their jungler in the river, they turn it around. First getting the pick on towards Dan, and then just everything wiping
Misfits game to lose, and they may have just lost it. Incredible turn from the side of OG.
disaster for Misfits there. Everything going so well, and it felt like Dan trying to bring OG away. All of a sudden, it was like, wait a second, I'm going to beat 4. Now not only is this going to but also too, so it'll close your soul on.
So Dan buying as much time as he can. Dan burns his life. Instant ult, snare. Alvari goes in, tries to let Dragon to the death realm. Ooh, cast it. Wait, does Trap steal it? Oh my god, his Trap stole Baron. What? His gun! That's gun stole Baron. Like one on the ground. It's gross. Literally, what can't this do? Nerves of steel. I said a lot of big words. It was none of those things. It
was
was
put in-
pure and total luck. But honestly, this is one of those moments where you throw your hands in the air and you say, we take those. See if Misfits, though, want to take anything back for themselves. That is the bottom side jungle. They're starting to push into this one. Predator has been used. Razork still feeling quite comfortable. 5-1-1 the scoreline.
Can't forget Misfits still very strong, built for the team fight. They now have Shirelius too from Denick, so target access, the big problem for them, or the big goal for them rather, is to find Upset in these fights so he doesn't steal buffs anymore. And now that's going to help them get into that fight. But actually in the replay, while we were focused on that turret, a big deal was Denick trying to find a flank, just got randomly hit by the Kion ult as it was like going around the wall. Like he wasn't even the target for it, but he got zoned away. So his CC was not relevant in any sort of turn there from Misfits as well. So that was the worst case situation for Misfits, where they were low from Baron. They weren't able to set up the fight properly like they would have wanted to. So and this next fight should look much better for them.
And this is the thing. This is the point in the game where now that OG have started to turn things back, that you start to look at what Misfits have done over the course of the game, and you go, Razork, I love that you were everywhere. I love that you were making plays. But now that OG are back in the game, I really wish those 5 kills were on some other players.
Yeah, and it's going to be more of a problem, I think, once people start to build MR, because right now I don't think it's actually the end of the world, because with this sort of, AP, setup, he just one-shots a lot of people. If I'm being honest, like, his full combo will take Upset to 20% HP, and then it just takes a little love tap from B-Voy, and Upset's going to be in trouble. The problem does come, again, when abilities don't hit. And that's where you value the consistency of having the gold on someone like an AD carry on a Xayah.
From 4K lead to being in a deficit. The good composure from OG finding the opportunity, but now for Misfits, it has to be frustrating. For a relatively young team, all things considered, have to see if they can keep their composure, keep it together. Because they still have the potential to execute these fights and just absolutely dominate, especially if they can, as you said, just kill Aphelios to start it off.
The other thing we're going to be looking for in the fights is which target Alfari is using his ultimate on. We saw like in the pit right there, he was trying to get onto Razork. I actually think you could even try to isolate like a Rakan from a team fight, or an Aatrox too, like any of these backline divers. The first one you think that's going to be big trouble for your team. Same can be said for Diana too. Deny her that big AoE team fight ultimate. Those are the sorts of targets that I think are going to be really big. Or at the same time, if you can pick off Razork before he's used his own ultimate, that's going to be a big deal.
Actually so powerful. And it's good that you bring up Rakan, because that's where the QSS first buy may look a little strange, but when you take into account, but when you take into account that you're against a Mordekaiser, it makes a lot more sense, and it means that that's kind of a guaranteed engage, guaranteed disruption on the side of the Rakan. Same cannot be said for the likes of B-Boy, for the likes of Febivin. The options aren't that quite as clear there to stop the Death Realm from coming through.
So OG, they have a lot of firepower, especially if we look at the 2 mid laners. I think it's a pretty substantial lead for Nukeduck over Fevivin in terms of overall gold, reaching almost 2K, which is, I mean, lethality items are very cheap, so he's sort of springboarded ahead in that regard and is approaching his 4th now, just going for the full one-shot potential. But he can't really play side. Yes, he has Moby Boot, so he can get around the map very quickly, but for him, it's more about playing inside the enemy jungle, like he is now.
Chasing down Dan. And of course, with the Umbral Glaive, just knows that he has not been spotted. Have to keep your eyes on Upset's ultimate, however. Definitely one to watch, especially with Gravitum out. The long-range engage options are very much present for the side of OG. I like that Xerxes is going for the full damage build here.
That's a Rabadon's coming through.
Yeah, wow. Rabadon's coming through. I feel like his clear objective is to just one-shot the enemy Xayah. But also not a ton of MR outside of tap. Or not tap,
yeah, not a bunch of resistance inside of this. This is a very glass cannon game outside of like maybe a party.
Very good in 1-1.
Very close though. Destiny right there. That starts to fight. They've gone back. Here we go. The fight that you wanted. Instantly they start to turn up. It's still uncontested on the back line, but it doesn't matter. Quick kills picked up. Baron is alive and well. And goes the damage coming
this, just throwing down the ult, trying to poke, trying to harass, trying to buy time, but Misfits are not being dissuaded.
Oh, Upset was trying to clear away the minions, but it's not going to be fast enough. Misfits get the tower and get the inhibitor as well. There's still 30 seconds on the death timers of the rest of the week. You have to hit it still, guys. Okay. Now there's 20 seconds on the death timers of OG, so the Baron may be a little bit risky with the TP on Almari, but I still think they can just go ahead and start this one.
Question is, what does Xerxes get done in the meantime? Walking down, it would appear trying to get rid of this, trying to get rid of these waves, but if he wants to contest this, I can't imagine Misfits are going to make the same mistake twice.
Yeah,
I mean, going to let that Aphelios try to steal another one.
Last time it was a disaster, but there was a Keon ult wrecking them inside, and now it's just Xerxes.
They're just going to get the Baron. Yeah, the TP's too late. It's not enough. If they get right into this fight, OG lost everything in that exchange. Misfits are right back in the game.
Yeah, really heads up play there from Misfits. Even though Fevovit almost went down, he still had TP, so found a really nice flank. Good initiation there from Denik and Razor as well. The only consolation prize for OG is going to be that mid-tower. They're going to sweep away a lot of jungle camps too, and then try to set up a pick. Because remember, OG looks strongest, not when they're engaging or getting engaged on as 5 members, but instead camping inside the fog of war and making sure you get the isolated members on the side.
Top side. Things on the bottom side, they know. All of OG. Very safe. There with the lantern. Once we've cast it. So
Yeah, I mean, Misfits doing a very good job here of keeping competitive pressure, keeping the lead of OG. Now just using that pressure through mid lane, pushing for those super minions, and utilizing this TP from Dan to come into top with a double cannon and so many range creeps as well. This push is going to try and knock down that Timber Tower.
the question is, what guns is Upset? Does he have the gravity? Does he have the setup? He can't just use the abilities to burn through ammo, but it's a long time before that just allows him to ult to walk good. Big damage, of course, on the blue ultimate, but that's the wave clear. There it is. Death Realm coming out. Through the wall, he's not afraid to get the things off. Ask is coming up. King's coming in. They're trying to track exactly where far to go. They have vague information. They're there. Huge combo! And that's exactly what you want, but still, Misfits are not dissuade. B-Boy trying to turn this one around. Upset. Desperate to hold on to this fight, but it's incredibly close. It's incredibly back and forth. The ult's coming. The feathers are pulled back. That's the double kill. Dan is going wild in the backline. Dunking down on the OG Dreams. The Nuke flash to safety. Xerxes goes up in the air and immediately gets taken out. Misfits are going to move into the base and end the game. What a fight.
Misfits just turn it around right there as Almari tries to go up big without anyone in the base. Misfits smashed in that team fight with the superior composition, and now Nuke has nothing he can do.
It's just his life that's going to be given up. Desperately trying to bait. It's a long, slow goodbye, but that's going to do it. Misfits finding the win. They tie Origin's scoreline. What a way to end their week 3.
Misfits to prove something. Beat a team that wasn't, mangling around in the middle here and show up against OG and it was very, very good. In the early game, there was one major hiccup around the back, but they were able to recuperate and bounce back, and that is the sign of a good team in the making.
Just incredible. Sometimes I wonder if they just don't tell us that it's scripted, because we're like, Razor, and bam, Razor. I'm certain what you think. Incredible recon. Beautiful engage in the mid lane. Help the team close out. And really, if we can't decide who should be playing the game, you should be on Twitter, at LAC Plays, Razor, B-Boy, Denny. A lot of K's in the end of these names. Could be Razor, could be Denny, but it's not. Let us know who it is.
Honestly, I was just surprised. Another great individual play. B-Boy stepping up in the last team fight too with a great callback on the feathers, but just Misfits in general making very snappy decisions. The engage in mid lane right before that second Baron that they were able to end up taking. So many of these plays, they had to make in the heat of the moment, and they were just so united and went for everything without any hesitation.
And once again, that's one of, I feel like, the first tests any new team coming in the rift, how confidently can you play? Will you let your nerves affect you? For Misfits, the answer is no. They played fantastically. Folks, it's time. The match of the week is almost here. G2 Esports and Fnatic face off in a rematch of the summer finals. Throughout the day, we've asked pros for their predictions. So before we go to break, let's get some more insight.
I'm Crownshot from SK Gaming, and my prediction for G2 Fnatic today is that the game will be very close, but I think G2 will take it.
Hey, I'm Adone, I'm the top player for FromSoftware, and I think GG is gonna take it today.
Hello guys, my name is Comp, I'm playing for Team Vitality, and my prediction for G2 vs Fnatic is that G2 is gonna take it.
My name is Caleb from Excel, and I think G2 is gonna take it.
Hello guys, it's Karzi from Headlines, the CEO of Huma. I think the G2 is going to stop
And my prediction for today, the week G2 again. I wish G2 wins. Hi, I'm
I want Caps to win against Reckless, and I want us to win, and I want them to smack this game.
Whoever wins between us and G2 usually wins the split, so it's a pretty good sign if we were to be able to take this game.
Whoever wins becomes the king of Europe, no matter what.
We have been tumbling around each other for quite a time. When you were coming around, I didn't feel like we tried. Your heart was shy and so was I. You found my weakness right. As time went by, we walked the line. You made us so insane. I feel like you want a taste. The tickles over my face. Let me direct you the way. I know you wanted to stay. Your heart was shy and so was I. You found my weakness right. As time went by, we walked the line. You made us so insane.
Every battle is simply a piece of a much larger story. Ambition, sacrifice, betrayal, victory above all. You can sit back and bear witness, or you can stand with those you believe in. So I ask you, Europe, will you rise for your champions? Will you stand?
When you have a history with someone, and a very long one, you're just bound to have emotions, right? I don't want to lose to them, right? It's not even about beating them, it's about not losing to them.
G2 and Fnatic, two of the best teams on the planet, go head-to-head for a spot in the final. Let's get to the action.
This game is descending into madness. Who's going to pick it up? It's secured by G2! There's fights all across the map right now, but it's G2 falling time and time again.
Last year, I think that's where the rivalry started for real.
Oh, that's already a kill to Blimbo. Hurts manages to kill Reckless. G2 Esports have bounced back from the clutches of embarrassment.
They kind of had our number the entire year.
Fnatic versus G2, the final everyone was waiting for. These two titans of European League of Legends clashing on Summoner's Rift. Here comes the charge in from the side as G2 are looking for the fight. And the side's gonna go down. Up towards the side as well. Mickey has fallen and Fnatic are coming out on top. G2 can do nothing about it. And now it's a 4v5. Roger takes out Boxer. The second kill goes down as Whipper falls. And G2 by 3. The barrel doesn't land, but the torp comes out. And now it's an all-right brawl in the bottom lane. And it's Fnatic who are coming out on top.
Medic, we are going to game 5.
Whenever we go up against each other, it's always a pretty heated battle.
Everyone knows what it's like to be losing and bounce your way back.
Flashes forward, first blood to him, and Reckless.
People keep fighting until the very end.
Whipper jumping in, and a second there as well. Look at the damage, it's Fnatic. They find the fight. G2 overstep.
It's just one play away from victory.
Whipper takes down Jankos, and look at that. Nemesis is falling at the start of the fight. It's all on Reckless. And G2 are your champions.
I feel like after last year, we truly have that grudge to double them.
I don't want to just win, I want to like smash them, right? Just want them smacked, you know?
Whoever wins becomes the king of Europe, no matter what.
Hello and welcome back to the LEC for our match of the week. We've been talking an awful lot about it. It's G2 Esports versus Fnatic, and the stage is so very perfectly set to finish week 3 with a very much anticipated rematch as former teammates Caps and Reckless clash in the bot lane. We're also joined by Misfits Febervan to cover the picks and bans and to talk a little bit about his recent success, a big win for your Misfits boys, and also you first thing you said as soon as you got yourself in the studio is, anyone predict us? A big fat goose egg. Of course, Yamato and Froskuren joining me as well. Razork did pick up the key player of the game, though, with 81% of the votes. Big plays from Razork during that game. The Gragas, Yamato, you seem convinced.
Honestly, the first Gragas performance I saw from Razork was kind of like the resurgence, because he had the rough Jarvan game, and then the Gragas game, he kind of popped off. He had the silly Nash situation, but I liked what I saw. He was where he was supposed to be, and this game was also a great performance. He picked up all the kills, and he did things with them as a jungler in 10.2. Fantastic.
Junglers doing things in 10.2. Who thought we'd see it? Febby, how was that game from your POV? I mean, we talk about our predictions. I mean, how was the game to play?
I mean, I think it was a hard game for me because I think the strength of OG is like, you know, their solo laners and then their consistency. So I felt like usually I can get more ahead, but against like Nukduck and Afari and their top side, they play very controlled. So I felt like our jungle and support were really like abusing their jungle support with the picks as well and just playmaking. And I think my jungler played actually insanely well. And I'm really happy with how my whole team played. And I actually think I got really carried this one.
Something that really jumped out of the page during Law's interview with Amazing, talking about some of the interactions he has with the players, and he was telling me that it's a new world out there for him, talking to newbies and the way they see the game. I say newbies, let me try, rookies, excuse me, but definitely not newbies. They've been playing this game a while. But like the idea of how, you know, Razork, as an example, he said he's talking about landing a sickly sim Q, and Amazing's, you know, thinking big picture. Have you noticed the same kind of thing as Amazing, that playing with these rookies has its changes, its differences to, say, you know, Fnatic, we're about to talk about later?
For sure. Like, I mean, my jungle is kind of a main echo in solo queue, and he's so insane with echo, you know, but it's like there's just some champions that don't work in competitive, or like you have to be really, really good at them, you know? But I think he's actually someone that can pull that off, like the champion that's not meta, and he can actually put that into the meta, you know? So I'm excited to see what's to come, but it's definitely like a challenge to like, sometimes you need to tone it down a little bit, you know, because like some things clearly don't work.
Yeah, maybe he needs someone to say no a couple of times.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Frost, what
Is
do you
that the main voice that you play in the team? Do you feel that you are like the leader or like the big brother, like, stop, calm down, we're going this direction? Or do you kind of like take your hand, like, Jesus, take the wheel?
It depends, you know. There's obviously things that I am more like skeptical about, but there's also things that like I'm really open to try new stuff, you know. So I will give them a chance, you know. But if I feel like we're really trolling, then I want to practice something else, you know, because you only have limited amount of time. But it's about a balance, you know. You can't just completely shut it off because then mental boom and stuff, you know.
Yeah, and limited amount of time is exactly what we have, because I want to make sure we have enough to talk about Fnatic versus G2, two of the best teams in the world, and they're both coming in solid form. Now, the main kind of headline act has been not only the fact that they're coming in such form, both of them for us, that's how we started the show, but the Caps and Reckless conversation is one I cannot wait to turn some rocks over and to understand completely.
I mean, you're gonna hear the words, so let's like get them out of the gate, like Kings, Legacy, Dynasty, History, it is all there. But the fact of the matter is there is no better rivalry right now in League of Legends, because you look over LCK, your SKT and your T1s are not at the top, or your SKT and your KTs are not at the top. EDG and RNG, they're not at the top. CLG and TSM, they're definitely not at the top. So the fact that Europe has G2 and Fnatic in 1 and 2 form, G2 looking to go undefeated, Fnatic looking to tie them up, and then how competitive they have been also on a global scale, that's what makes this the best rivalry in League of Legends right now.
Febby, we asked the analysts earlier to talk a little bit about who they think is going to win, forcing predictions out of our analysts. And I'm not going to force a prediction out of you, but could you tell me about how the win conditions shape up in your mind? How does G2 manufacture a win? How does Fnatic manufacture a win?
I think it's pretty clear to me. It's top lane is kind of AFK depending on the matchups. You know, if Wunder's gonna play Soraka, top lane will be non-existent. Depends on like what kind of matchup they want to play against it. I feel like the mid lane is the huge thing for me. I feel like Jankos, Perks, they are way better than Selfmade and Nemesis. Like, and I think that will be their main winning condition. But obviously, like for Fnatic, it's the bot lane, right? Like we know already they're going to gank bot lane. They're gonna pick setup and they're gonna gank. You know, I feel like if they don't get it and they actually get behind on bot, I feel like it will be really hard for Fnatic to win.
I need to echo that sentiment. I think, you know, with the bot lane of G2, sometimes they've kind of slipped up. They kind of die in a 2v2 situation. It looks like they're looking in top, well, there's a fight, and then they get Nautilus queued, and something goes wrong. I think if you do that against a Fnatic, it could get dangerous, but I agree completely with the sentiment. If G2's bot lane is ahead for some reason, because of something happening in the mid 2v2, transfer into bottom, then I think also that spells doom for Fnatic.
If you had to put a percentage on it, Febby, like 60% G2 win, 40% Fnatic win, like where would you put it? How close do you actually think the matchup is? Because when we heard from everyone's like G2, 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 and any sane person is always going to say G2 here, but I feel like a lot of the sentiment is G2 are about to smash Fnatic in 20 minutes, and I don't think that that's true.
No, I don't think so. I think it's actually really close. Like I really want to say 50-50. I really think it's a 50-50, you know. It's like Fnatic's strength is bot lane, G2's strength is mid lane right now, you know, how they play, and like, I think the mid-late game is kind of similar. They're really good, you know, both of them. And they really play well towards their, like, skill and stuff. But I think it's really 50-50, you know?
So I want to check back in to see if it's still a 50-50 as soon as we see the drafts. Because I feel like this is certainly a matchup that does come down to, like, execution and kind of what appears on the stage.
We talked a little bit about before, the idea of ace up the sleeve, careful. We analyzed the draft, Yamato. What were those kind of expectations of surprise you had?
I think, you know, the single flex that Fnatic didn't use yesterday, this is not the misfortune right away. I think that's a big question mark. Is Fnatic just taking Cinder away from the red side? That's the question. The Aphelios and the Senna, what's going to happen with those? All these AD carries are super powerful, and then what happens to Caps?
Or Zac Efron, as I like to call it.
So it's curious to ban set from the blue side. Usually we have been seeing that on the red side. Maybe does that indicate to you what they want to do with 2 topside bans now for the priority pick?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't think, like, on blue pretty good ban because I think Fnatic flex pick it, you know. I don't think it's that good boosting. There's actually a lot of champions. I'm not sure what they want to do honestly with these two bans.
I mean, the clearest thing to me is the fact that none of the ADCs are going to be touched. We do see a priority, although it does feel, as Debbie's kind of alluding to, that flex picks are probably going to be the go-to between G2 and Fnatic, just because of how versatile and deep the champion pool are.
Yeah, this is a clear first pick of Felios, yeah. Has to be, otherwise it would be crazy. I wonder what the third ban will be. Usually they want to just rotate the lead together with the AD carry and support top third. Soraka ban. I like it. I love the Soraka ban. Get rid of this champ.
Maybe they go Senna.
Okay.
I think the reason why G2 loves Senna and healing in general, like they just play Senna bot, you have healing, then you play Soraka top, and then they're mutual mode, they pick something that's aggressive. Well, good luck skirmishing that, you know, so
Hear the music.
Hey, what's up, Arketual? It's not glitched, it's just delayed, so I have to do it manually. I just have to do it manually. Yeah, I'm not going. Alright. Maybe if I'd been there, we could have gotten the kill, but you just can't. Come on. Come on. Some lane win. Give me something. Man. I'm just so behind, so I'm like on the wrong side of all these, of where I need to be. I tried to impact mid, just failed. I just failed a couple times, too many times. Die here. I'm so what a game. What a game. Like nothing happened. Nothing has happened. Nothing that I needed to happen could have happened. Like I tried to make plays mid, top died super early. There we go. I'm coming. I'm just so slow. I don't have boots. I don't have anything. I don't have any damage. Oh, I don't know why I even committed to that play. Yeah. The level Shen died like so early. He died level 2. He turret dove level 2. I just can't get a break. I mean, I've path. It's been a really weird game. My pathing's been super weird. Tried to make a play mid, almost like it was so close to getting it a couple times, and that would have really helped a lot. It's like I feel like I have the wrong runes because everything just seems to be being really bad. Like, just everything feels bad. I'm just off right now. And like you can see it in the bot play going for the Senna. Like Shen had ult. I guess Shen's AFK already. I don't know. So like if you watch the I spent a lot of time trying to make a play. It was just I just couldn't make a play. I mean, there's no one's playing. Hey, Sea Cow Manatees, welcome back. This is not a great. But like, yeah, Shen died. Shen almost got the kill on Kled and got baited and dove under turret and then teleported back and died again. And then died again. Like, and so like I was trying to make plays topside early because I thought bot would be able to hold on a little bit. And then I wasn't able to get anything done.
Hey, never pick a fight you can't win.
Just nothing worked out. Like, maybe I tried to help. I tried to help top and mid too much instead of I needed to reset and go bot. And it just ended up being it was just so weird. Like I was getting pulled around the map and like there were so many almost plays that happened. And then like I used my flash to get a kill on Kled, but then I didn't have mana to get the kill, so it just kind of like. And then, so then I didn't have my flash to make a play later, and then it's Xin Zhao who's now behind because all the other lanes are ahead. It was a lot. And like I guess I should have just run bot. I don't know. I feel like we could have won if Shen, like, all we needed was Shen to hold on, honestly. And like Shen doesn't win. I don't think Shen wins early verse. I don't think Shen is supposed to win early versus Kled, so the fact that he almost got the kill, ooh, that's bad. So the fact that he almost got the kill is good. I'll give it to. It doesn't really matter. It's just really bad. That's okay. Like, like, I just want to see, like, because I wasted so much time trying to help top and mid, and it didn't work out. Because like I was like, I don't even know. I wasted a little bit of time early. I should have seen. I guess if I'd told Vlad I'd level 2 if he let it shove. But so Vlad was applying pressure early, so I shouldn't have ganked for the Vlad. Lost some time there. But I couldn't have been top at 2 minutes. I was on. If I'd run straight there, maybe I could have done that, but I don't think Shen's supposed to win this. So here's where Shen almost gets the kill. I mean, a really bad flash by Kled, but so he dies there, and it's a Kled. Like, this is Kled's dream. Like, he comes back, he gets all his farm, and he dies. He's got the full wave here. When does he die? He dies. Like, I guess I could have dove. If I'd come straight top here. Maybe I come top here and we dive Kled. But that seems like super risky because it's a Kled. So you can just kind of dismount. But he doesn't have flash. Maybe we could have done it. But he doesn't have flash either, so I don't know. Does he taunt him under tower? Is that how he dies again? So I'm here trying to make this play mid. Like, so basically this fighting, so Vladimir roamed level 2 down to the bot lane, so he lost all lane pressure. So I don't think this was a good play from, like, doesn't jungles all the time. Yeah. Yeah, it's risky, but he doesn't have flash. And he's already low, so we know he's going to dismount. And then we can maybe burst him? I don't know, but yeah, right, I don't want to do it. So Vladimir roamed level 2 down to the bot lane when like there's not really any CC bot lane and they're still level 1. They just hit level 2, so he just wasn't patient enough. If he'd waited a little bit, because now his roam is all for nothing and a lot of missing pings mid, so he loses pressure mid. I ping right where Vi is.
Summoner's Rift.
So in Vladimir's path, and I think he greeds here. Like if he could pool that, or he doesn't even have pool. So he flashes. He should have flashed earlier. He should have flashed the Vi Q so that he's able to come to lane. Instead, he comes to lane here, and now I have to come and defend him to make sure he doesn't, because he's gonna get dove. Like Vi's, I mean, maybe he. Okay, I thought Vi should be here ready to dive the Vladimir with this big wave. So I come here just to kind of do some, apply some pressure, try to make it to where he needs to be able to farm this wave. I loop around for another gank because it's still a big one, and Shen dies for the second time. I don't know. So I just ended up having to. It's so hard. I don't see him drop this so many times. I would have flashed onto him because I have red buff. I didn't see it. Okay, so he's able to farm. I don't know. At this point, he still wants help. Like he still wants help mid. No, Victor wants help to help shove it in. I'm here. I do the scuttle. Shen's back top. It's fine. I make a play here. I don't know where Vi is. I could have flashed onto him. Maybe I should have. But and then bot lane. Does he die here? But nobody dies here. I don't know. It just we didn't have like the only CC, the only range CC we have is the pull from. It just I don't know. From here, I feel like. So I don't have any gold because I've only done like 3 camps. I've been involved. I've gotten no kills. Really, I haven't soaked any minion money. So I'm sitting. So I'm like, I really want to recall, but I only have like 600 gold, 800 gold. It just felt really bad. It's just enough for like 2 long swords. And here's where Shen dies again. So like, I don't know. Shen dies right here. Oh, I guess I die too. How do I die? Oh, so Shen dies. I flash in, and then I don't have any mana. I'm like, oh, my bad. And then he just is able to chase me down. And at that point, it's like, I didn't have mana. Otherwise, I would have gotten the kill, probably. Oh, well.
Get ready.
Hate to see it. No, I definitely should have played it better, like, for sure. But it just felt really weird. Nothing worked out. I mean, I guess that's what you get.
Listen up, speak the truth. Heads up. Check this out. Wait up. Gonna climb themselves.
poterti.
Ain't nothing bringing me down. Don't trip.
An ally has been slain.
Imagine a world where no one was fronting. Step up! Woo! Huh! 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 Huh!
An ally has been slain.
Hang tight. Hold up. Let me figure out which reality I'm in. Yeah! Here I go!
You have been slain.
Stay fresh to death.
An ally has been slain.
I am the future. Gave me mic. I got no one to spite. My mama raised me right. Check this out.
It's just like Batman. That way.
Heads up.
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah.
Turret plate will fall soon.
Most don't get second chances. I make the most out of my circumstances. Don't trip. Step up. Stardom chases me. Check this out. What? Get ready.
Has been slain.
been a minute since I took a L. No life better than mine. My time is now.
An ally has been defeated. Enemy double kill.
Aha!
Conviction.
Can't touch me. Run it back, run it back. Wait up. Stairs are gonna climb themselves. I wasn't born a golden child, but my music about to change lifestyles. Heads up!
Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain. Enemy double kill. Enemy untouched. Haste. Your turret has been destroyed.
to create new horizons, toughen the minds from iron to diamond. Yeah! Step up! Version!
Enemy double kill. Executed. Your turret has been destroyed.
Been a minute since I took a L. I'm ahead of my time, it's second to none.
Defeat.